Hello, everybody. It's Darth Paradigm. I've been remiss in my duties, and I have to apologize. This is a hilt that I acquired way back when I started my channel, and I just never reviewed it, nor did I even understand sabers in the least. I was such an incredible noob. This is a I don't know. It's just a stunt saber produced by a company called Saber Shogun. Yes, and they have a website. Fortunately, it looks like this thing's been discontinued. But let me tell you about it. Okay, how's that sound? Now, essentially, what we have here is almost a direct copy of a discontinued saber by Saberforge called the Consular. And as I said, it's just a stunt saber. You see, you have a nice little battery pack. Holds three, count them, 3 AAAs. And a nice little chassis. The batteries pop into place really nice. And this just slides in here. And as you can see, the walls, let's see if I can get a good angle. The walls on this thing are really, really thick. This thing is designed to duel and to take a beating. Here's the pommel, a very, very solid piece, just one-piece construction. Here's the tricky part. Let's see if I can get this thing in here. Might have to put the phone down for a sec. Ooh, this is a good angle, huh? Let's see if I can avoid cross-threading it. This is not easy. All right. There's a lot of thread here. There we go. I think I've got that on here. So, I think the saber, when it was available on the Saber Shogun website, or when it was sold almost primarily, I think, in the UK, went for 130 euros, I think, which is a lot. But I only paid about $40 for it. So I think I got this kind of on clearance. The seller that sold this to me doesn't seem to sell things on eBay anymore. I looked. And on the Saber Shogun website, they have this saber listed. And one that has, this one has a blue LED. And they have one that's listed with a red LED. But they seem to be sold out in lieu of kind of a FX saber, which runs about $200, $250 on that website, but you can get on an Etsy store through something called Master Cutlery or something to that effect. But it does come with a CoverTech wheel, and these are indeed cutaways. The finish is kind of this. I don't know. It's meant to be a kind of like a high shine, high quality, very shiny finish, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's not very well done. And I recently, well, just yesterday or this morning, I watched someone that had reviewed the saber, and he had gone in and kind of sanded all this down, and I'm inclined to do that at some point. The anodization here in these grooves is nice. It's rather smooth, not too rough. Good gripping point. The saber is essentially activated by pushing this button for 3 seconds, and then it backlights, and fairly decent illumination. We'll get to the discussion about the blade and the uniqueness of the blade, but yeah, it's sufficiently bright for the quality of the blade and the LED, and the fact that it's only running off of 3 AAAs. To turn the saber off, you just kind of hold the button again for 3 seconds. Now, when I first received this saber and I started mucking about with it, like I said, I was such a noob that for some reason I was misinterpreting how this thing works. I think I might have had a battery in wrong or something to that effect, but essentially I couldn't get this thing to turn off, and this remained illuminated, and the batteries were just getting killed. But now that I've pulled this thing out and I've been playing with it, swinging it around, and it is a heavy boy. This thing is actually, it's actually quite nice. And you can see around the switch section, you've got these little scallop bits here, and it's anodized. It's nice and smooth. The real selling point is this section here. This is direct from the Saber Forge consoler, and this is very, very comfortable, very nice, smooth, really, really good quality anodization. Whereas the shiny, chromy, aluminy, whatever you want to call it, bits are full of blemishes and scuffs, and this is not from use. This is just how it came. It makes up for in the quality here. And you get these wonderful little windows. The Saber has 2 blade retention screws, one on the top, one on the bottom. And unlike some Sabers, you know that you will receive this and will only have 1 screw. This actually already provides you a screw for each of them. Essentially, the set comes in a nice box. It actually comes in a box, yeah, with a styrofoam insert, a place for a blade retention or an Allen key. You have a spot for the hilt and a spot for the blade, which is unique for $40. I mean, damn. This blade, wow, this blade is heavy. This is probably one of the thickest blades on any Saber that I own. It is diffused. It's 36 inches long. You can kind of get the gist of how thick it is. The walls are at least 1/8 of an inch thick. If you go on YouTube, there's actually videos for this company under Saber Shogun where they hack at the blade with a machete and drive over it with a truck. They do all kinds of horrible things to this blade. This blade, anything short of a nuclear blast is probably not going to damage this thing. The only problem with this blade is, if anything does happen to it, you can't replace it, because it's not a 1-inch blade. It's not a 7/8 inch blade. It's somewhere between 7/8 and a 1-inch. It's Bizarro size, as is the blade holder. The blade holder is so thick and durable that they actually had to come up with their own unique blade size, and I think they probably custom made their polycarbonate blades to go into the blade holder. So you can't get any standard 1-inch or 7/8 inch blades into this holder. It's impossible without getting super creative. But I am not worried about the possibility of damaging this blade, because well, it's meant to be relatively indestructible. So let me just kind of show you this hilt. There's really not much to it. This is just strictly meant to be a dueler. As I said, no sound. It's just a stunt saber. And I was really remiss to ignore this saber for the whole time I've owned it up until this point. I really like this cover tick wheel too. Saber Shogun. Who knew? Alright, so I can't swing this around in here too much, because if I hit anything, I will destroy it. But turn that on. Plenty bright. Now, as I said, this blade is really heavy. And you really have to let the weight of the saber and the inertia of the blade do the work. But it's decent for spinning. You really have to focus on holding these choke points, because unfortunately the windows are a little bit sharp. I mean, if you kind of were to run your finger along them like that, you could end up lacerating yourself, although I don't know, it's sharp, but it's not catastrophically sharp. And so far, spinning this thing around, because you have to hold the switch for 3 seconds, I haven't actually inadvertently turned it off. It's just a nifty little package for $40. Like I said, that's what I paid for it. I don't know if anybody would want to pay 130 euros for it. But you could go into a dueling competition and really hold your own with this thing. I can't imagine it breaking on you. Check out this. Whoop. That's not good. Oh, what did I do? I think I maybe knocked the battery out. Yeah. The person I saw that was reviewing this, he actually had rubber bands around the battery. I think you could use some tape, because I think what happened was I jostled the battery. Yeah. But once you get the battery secured, it's a pretty solid saber. I really wish they had a link that I could give to you guys so you can really see you know, a place where you can grab one of these for your own, because I could see people really enjoying this thing. It's a wonderful little saber. I just have to get in there and secure these batteries. I think if I were to take this out, I'd find that one kind of got jostled a little bit. At least I hope that's all there is to it. It could be a short. I don't know. The thing's fairly brand new and hasn't been used that much. But you know, swinging around hasn't caused any issues. So anyway, yeah, this is just kind of a quick review to show you this stunt saber. I think it has a model number. I'll get that from their website, and I'll put the link in for what it's worth. Maybe it'll be available again. I kind of wish that it would. And one more time. Yeah, I don't know what country produces this. Initially, I had in my video from so many months ago, I had indicated that this was a Chinese-made saber, but I don't really think it is. I think it might be something produced in the UK, or I really don't know. I'd have to do some research on that to figure out what the story is. But at the very least, you can have a decent replica of a Saberforge Consular for a pittance, if you don't mind not having sound, and you can't afford to purchase the Gen 4 version, which is currently out of stock. Yeah, so there you have it. Stunt Saber by Saber Shogun. What an odd piece. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this review. And please, feel free to subscribe, like or dislike, comment, be nice. I appreciate the support everyone's been giving me. Yeah, it's really nice to have so many awesome people looking out for me. It means a lot. At any rate, please take care. Have yourself a good evening, and I will see you next time. Bye.